My brothers and sisters, when I stood beside Dr. S. Jaishankar in New York, in the shadow of glass towers where empires once wrote our fate, I knew the moment was more than symbolic. The United Nations building towered behind us, that hall of power where Africa has too often been lectured, dismissed, or ignored. Diplomats whispered in corridors, cameras flashed like storms, but for me, it was not another summit. It was the sound of a continent daring to look higher, daring to claim the sky itself. $42 billion. That figure roared across headlines. Newspapers in Washington, London, Paris scrambled to make sense of it. Analysts debated, critics sneered, admirers whispered. But let us speak clearly. This was not charity. This was not a gift wrapped in pity. This was not another loan designed to strangle us, not aid meant to keep us kneeling, not empty promises that vanish like mist. No, this was a pact between equals. Sovereignty meeting ambition, technology meeting courage, the future shaking hands with those bold enough to seize it. They said I was too young. They said I was reckless. They said a man from Burkina Faso could not stand at the same table with giants and be taken seriously. But in that hall before the flags of nations, I did not stand alone. I carried the weight of millions who never had the chance to speak. The farmer who plants without knowing if rain will come. The soldier defending a border he cannot see. The child who gazes at stars and wonders why they are forever out of reach. For them, I sign. For them, I carried the pen. For them, I refused to bend. As the ink dried on that agreement, I felt the world tremble. Because make no mistake, they do not fear our poverty. They profit from it. They fear our awakening. They fear Africa rising, not as beggars, but as builders. They fear the day we stop asking permission and start claiming what is ours. That day, they saw it with their own eyes. Burkina Faso will not kneel. We will stand. We will not beg for scraps of technology. We will launch our own. We will no longer rent the eyes of others to see our own soil. Many will ask, why satellites? Why now? My answer is simple. Because vision is sovereignty. For decades, our skies were watched by others. French satellites mapped our gold mines. American satellites tracked our troops. European systems forecast our weather, monitored our crops, even measured our rivers, and then used that knowledge to drain our wealth. We paid to be surveilled. They knew our land better than we did. They knew where our lithium lay, where our uranium slept, where our waters flowed, and they used that knowledge to exploit us. This cycle ends now. Africa's first major satellite program will not be borrowed, rented, or gifted. It will be built. Built in partnership, yes, but built on African soil, by African engineers with African hands at the controls. When our satellites pass over Ouagadougou, over Bamako, over Dar es Salaam, they will not beam data to Paris or Washington. They will beam to us, to our soil, to our people. Let us break it down plainly so there is no mystery. $12 billion will build Africa's first satellite manufacturing facility in Ouagadougou. Not a warehouse, not an assembly line. A true factory of innovation, where every circuit, every solar panel, every piece of metal is shaped by Burkinabe engineers. $9 billion will launch 18 satellites, 6 for communications, connecting villages from the Sahel to the Sahara, 6 for Earth observation, watching our crops, forests, and borders, 6 for defense, encrypted so tightly no Western hand can intercept them. $8 billion will create ground stations across West Africa, ensuring we control the flow of data ourselves. $7 billion will build the African Space Technology Institute, training 10,000 young Africans in engineering, programming, and space sciences. $4 billion will establish defense communications, so our armies never again rely on foreign systems. $2 billion will empower agriculture, satellites sending farmers real-time updates. When to plant, when to harvest, when the rains will come. This is not charity. This is not aid. This is not dependency disguised as help. This is direct investment structured as a true partnership. India brings expertise. Burkina Faso brings determination. India's space agency, ISRO, has shown the world what efficiency looks like. They reached Mars with less than Hollywood spends on a movie. They launched over 100 satellites in one mission. They understand ambition without arrogance. They know partnership means both sides rise. But let us be wise. India will benefit. They will secure contracts, strategic data, a foothold in Africa. That is certain. The real question is, will we benefit more? Will the satellites serve our people or theirs? Will the engineers we train stay to build or leave to serve others? Will technology transfer be genuine or will it remain locked on paper? This is why vigilance is everything, because promises alone do not transform lives. The real test will come not in speeches, but in results. When a village doctor connects to a city hospital through satellite, when farmers double their yields because satellites guide their planting, when soldiers spot threats before they strike, when a young Burkina holds in her hands a satellite she helped build and whispers, "I made this," that will be the proof. If this pact succeeds, thousands of jobs will emerge. A new industry will rise. Data analysis, ground station maintenance, software development, all done by African youth. Our continent will no longer only consume technology, but create it. But if corruption poisons this chance, if funds vanish into private accounts, if foreigners dominate our own facility, then it will become another betrayal in the long graveyard of African dreams. Brothers and sisters, history will not forgive us if we fail. This is bigger than Burkina Faso. From Senegal to South Africa, from Ghana to Kenya, the whole continent is watching. If we succeed, others will follow. If we fail, they will mock Africa for generations. Success means Africa writes a new story of capability. Failure means Africa remains chained in doubt. This $42 billion is not only circuits and steel, it is dignity. It is defiance. It is the sound of chains snapping and ceilings shattering. It is Africa rising not on borrowed wings, but on wings we forge ourselves. The next 5 years will decide. Will our skies be filled with satellites built by our own hands? Or will this become another forgotten promise? Will our youth find purpose as engineers, or be left in disappointment again? The difference will not be luck. It will be discipline, vigilance, accountability. Every citizen must demand results. Every journalist must investigate. Every institution must guard against betrayal. This is not a miracle handed to us. It is a chance carved out of struggle. And chances once lost do not return. The world is asking, how did Burkina Faso, small and underestimated, sign the largest technology transfer in African history? The answer is simple. We dared because we had no choice. For too long, the West enslaved us with aid that bound us, loans that crushed us, technology withheld from us. China built roads and railways, yes, but too often on their own terms, with their own workers, leaving us dependent. India came with a different offer. Build with us, not for us. Learn with us, not through us. Rise with us, not behind us. And so, my brothers and sisters, I say to you, Africa is awake. Africa is choosing its destiny. Africa is no longer content to be watched from orbit. Africa will watch itself. Africa will see itself. Africa will decide for itself. They thought we would stay on the ground forever. They thought the sky was theirs alone. They were wrong. Our ancestors once navigated by the stars. Now their descendants will build them. And when our satellites pass over Paris, Washington, or London, let them look up and know, we are watching, Africa is rising, and we are not asking permission.